Everyone, Scottish Warrior 92 here, and the pink blanket is back! Yeah, it's absolutely fucking freezing, and I don't want to turn the heating on in case I break it. So I'm fucking freezing, so unfortunately you've got to sit through and watch me with my pink blanket again. So in this video, this is actually kind of a viewer request, but I was planning on doing this video for some time. It's another game character one. If you don't know, I done one absolutely ages ago, where I talked about Tali'zorah to Sony, and sorry, Dr. Tali'zorah to Sony, and I was planning on doing more of them, but time and all that, I just couldn't get the time to do more of them. But since it's come up from Mass Effect 3, I'm going to do a lot more of them. I'm going to concentrate on Mass Effect characters for a while, since it's come up from Mass Effect 3. And this was actually, technically speaking, a viewer request by Iron Dog 91, a recent member of the clan. Welcome to the clan. And he requested that I talk about Tali because he's in the same boat as me. I've romanced Liara and Tali, and I'm going to be dead man if I can't choose. So in this one I'm going to talk about my other romance choice, which is Tali. And if you have never watched one of these before, I'm just going to basically tell you my impression of the character from Mass Effect 1 to Mass Effect 2, and what I think she'll be like in Mass Effect 3. I'm thinking the next one I'm going to do is going to be on Garrus. But I would like, of course, viewer submissions as well. If you want to do your own one, let me know, but go ahead if you want. So in this one I'm going to talk about Tali'zorah Vas Normandy. I'm going to be calling her Tali because that's what I call her. She's had 3 different names, so I'm going with Vas Normandy, the one in Mass Effect 3. So yeah, let's get this started. Now, the first time that you meet Tali in Mass Effect 1 is when you're trying to find information on Saren being linked and being the result of the attack on Eden Prime. And Tali has the information you need. And basically you go through that. She's trying to sell the information to the Shadow Broker for safety and all that. And turns out that the Fist, the representative of the Shadow Broker who she spoke with, betrayed the Shadow Broker and was trying to screw over Tali and get her caught by Saren, where she was most likely going to be killed. But of course, Tali, being an intelligent character, did one of the most badass moves I've ever seen in gaming. She threw a grenade to 2 Solarian attackers and blew them up, and then you save her, basically. She had a really good introduction, showing that she isn't just this naive character, she can kick some ass. So that was a really good intro for me, and really showing that she knows what she's doing. At the time, she was known as Tali'zorah Vas Nima. That's the name. Vas Nima. I got to remember that. And she joins your crew as a tech specialist, i.e., an engineer. She's a Quarian. Got you that? So she has a suit on, which I must admit she has a pretty damn good character design. But also she is an expert on AI. Because she's a Quarian, the Quarians created the Geth. She knows how AI works, so since you're going up against Geth, she is fairly handy. I normally have her in my party anytime I know I'm going up against Geth, which is 99.9999999% of the time in Mass Effect 1. So I always normally had her in my party because she can hack, she's got all the good stuff in it, and she kicks ass with that fucking shotgun. I'll say that right now. Once you give her the best shotgun, she kicks ass. But her character, my first initial impressions, as I say, she was badass. She was a strong character, but at the same time she was still quite shy around individuals. She had this little, like, she's not used to being around ships that are quiet, which is a real thing I love. That's still one of my favourite things in Mass Effect, where she basically goes, the ship's too quiet, and I'm like, you don't like quiet ships? But of course, because of the Quarian fleet being basically salvage, 90% of it is salvage, there's always noises, so anytime she doesn't hear a noise, she thinks there's something wrong, and showing that she's very interested in seeing the specs of the ship, having it analysed, learning more and more, and being able to upgrade your ship as much as she can. And what I loved most about her character in Mass Effect 1 was the fact that you got to learn more about the Quarian culture without having to read the Codex, which I loved. I loved learning about the Quarian, how the Admiralty Board, the fleets, how their ships was, what happened to them. I loved that. Because the Codex is fairly long, but normally I can read it fairly easily. But it was quite interesting to hear from one of the people who know about it, one of the representative of the race, if you will, which I enjoyed. It was a really good interest in her character, and of course she's like One of the once she's basically on her pilgrimage. I keep forgetting to mention that. I always forget she's on a pilgrimage 90% of the time, where she wants to find stuff to give back to the fleet, or the flotilla, if you will. And in one mission, you have to help her. You are attacking 4 Geth bases in Alliance space. You go there, you take care of all four bases, and you get the information about the Geth, quite a lot of encrypted data. And she basically just asks, I want to use that for my pilgrimage, can I possibly get a copy of it? And of course my character's a Paragon, so he went, yeah, you can have it. Take a copy of it and then send it to the Admiralty Board. Which, that's why I liked her. She was quite kind, she was caring, same time she was badass. But like most people in Mass Effect 1, she wasn't my favourite character. She was very underdeveloped in Mass Effect 1. You knew what she stood for, what she wanted to do, who she was, where she came from, which I loved, and it was very well done, but she wasn't my favourite character. It's difficult to choose a favourite character from Mass Effect 1, but she wasn't in that range for the main reason she wasn't as developed as other characters, so that's the main reason. Then we move into Mass Effect 2, where her character is amazing. It's very well done. She really comes out on her own in this, in Mass Effect 2. The first time you see her in Mass Effect 2 is on your first mission to Freedom's Progress, I think it is. And basically she's in charge of a command squad trying to rescue a Quarian called Vitor. And basically she goes, Shepard, is that you? And that, I'm sorry, if you were like me, you went, Tali! Yeah, Tali! Tali who? Of course, and it was really nice seeing the first crew member who was part of your fight against Saren. There, it's Tali, and I loved that. I really hoped she was going to be part of the party from there on, but of course she wasn't. And you got to really connect with her for that, as of course if you've done this wee side mission with the Geth bases, she basically says, is it really you? And you go, did the Geth dare I gave you help at all? And she goes, that's you. That is definitely you. That is Commander Shepard. Which I loved. It's just, oh, that was just fucking cool as hell. And of course, she still wants to help you, but she has a mission today, so she isn't part of your party for a while. You don't see her until after you, well, what is it? After you go aboard the Geth, after, fuck, what is it? Horizon. After Horizon, you get her in her team. And the initial impression that I got from Tali, in Mass Effect 2 when I first saw her, was that she had grown up a lot. She had become more of a leader than she was in Mass Effect 1. She became stronger and she was more independent, but she still had that little sense of innocence about her that you just couldn't put your tongue on. Okay, that sounded so wrong. Oh god, I've got a dirty mind. But she had really grown. She still wanted to help Shepard, but she wanted to help her people more. She's very loyal to her people, but at the same time she's loyal to you, so it does conflict with her a little. And what I loved about her next introduction, which was on her mission, which was on Haestrom, where in Geth space, which was very interesting to me, especially with the moon, with the sun and all that, the sun getting shrunker and shrunker, which I'm still quite wondering what the hell that is with dark energy. I have no idea what the fuck that is. I'm really interested in it. So we'll have to wait and see. And of course, you have to save her basically, but she knows how to handle herself. She's not naive and stupid. So then you meet other Quarians who are there, and then of course you finally meet Cal Rieger. But before I go to Cal Rieger, I want to say something. I loved Haestrom. It was very well designed, I'll say it right now. I loved the look of it, the terrain, the environment. You could see that it aged, but at the same time it still was quite strong and sturdy. Of course, then you get to Cal Rieger, who I love his character. He's freaking badass as hell, I'll say that right now. And I really did enjoy that. You got to say, you could either save him or let him die, and basically ask to space. Don't we're not losing you. Get the fuck down and stay down. So I love that part. And then of course we meet Tali again, and she's just like, she's pissed off basically when you meet her, because a lot of her friends died on Haestrom to recover data about a son, which is going to play a bigger role in Mass Effect 3, I think. And what you got to learn after that is that she had changed a lot. She'd become more mature. She was more of a representative of her people, but at the same time she knew what she stood for. She was pissed off with the Admiralty Board for basically costing the lives of dozens of Quarians and people who she considered friends, and you could see that she is pissed off. But at the same time, you can kind of, she trusts you, but I always got this little sense that she's like, he's with Cerberus, so can I really trust him? Is he the same shepherd that I knew from all those years ago? And I'm going by my shepherd. I'm going to have to end this part because this time is about to run out, so look forward to part 2.